Like, you may come to believe that you are just one way, or that you've been this way your whole life. How can I change? I don't want to change. Maybe if I switch it up now, it's going to be weird or whatever. What are people going to think? This is a time to not only to do the things that you want to do in your life, to pursue the pursuits that you've always wanted to do, but to also be the person you've always wanted to be. Okay? Um, First of all, if you are still allowing the opinions of others to drive who you are, who you should be, then this probably is not the channel for you to be on. Just because, I've been there myself. We've all been there at some point where someone else's opinion has mattered more than our own. Okay, whether it's professionally, socially, or whatever. But that's just not something that we want to perpetuate here on this channel, just because it is a curse that I'm breaking and that I encourage others to do for themselves as well, if that's what they so choose to do. But you become the person that you want to be based on the choices that you make. But the only way that you can make an informed decision is to have the knowledge, to have the facts, to have the truth. Okay, the truth can be your own truth, and you don't necessarily have to go spilling your truth all over the internet. You don't have to go telling everybody your truth. You don't have to go and prove to anybody that this is my truth. You just have to know that it's your truth, and you operate based on that truth. And if you find that in that truth you actually want to turn things around, you want to be a different representation of yourself, you want to be the highest representation of yourself. That's the goal for me anyway, to be the highest representation of yourself. Then that's exactly what you should do. If that's what you feel called to do, do it. I'm not here to tell you how to be what in any other way, shape, or form than however you feel like you need to be. But if your goal is to elevate, to evolve, and to embody that highest version of yourself, it is going to take work. It is going to take you recognizing where you are first before you can even make changes. What is it? Give me the strength to accept the things that I cannot change and the wisdom to change the things that I can, or something like that. I'll put the quote up on the screen because I pretty much butchered it, but you get what I'm trying to say. Okay. Other than that, what else do we want to talk about? I feel like I just went on a long tangent about mothers, but the mother wounds they're gonna be the key to your elevation here, especially for my women who are wanting to tap more into their feminine energy, who are wanting to embody more of their feminine energy. Like, they want to find out what their lesson is. I'm here for it. Okay, the first thing that I'm going to recommend before anything is to just be really real with yourself, to really look in the mirror and to examine your relationships with yourself, with the earth, with your mother, with your father too. Like, it's not just mothers, it's fathers too. When we have terrible relationships with masculine energy, with willpower, with control, with men in general, with whatever, however the masculine manifests in your life, we have to look at our relationship to the father, because what was our father like? Was he absent? Was he overbearing? Was he abusive? Was he controlling? What was your relationship with father? And then look at the relationships that you have with men with masculine energy. They're going to be very reflective of each other if you have not applied anything that you've learned. Look at your life. You have to look and see where you are in order to know where you're headed. You don't have to be psychic to see where someone is going based on the things that they are not learning in their life. Okay, the way that they apply themselves in life. Because when you see, everything starts with the wounding inside. It starts with the imprintation upon your energy. Before you can know why, you be sitting there wondering, why do I do things like this? Why am I like this? And then when you ask why, you're met with that dark cloud. It will show you why, but are you prepared? Are you prepared to go back there? And then to see, not only to see what happened to you in those times that was really traumatic, but then to see the beliefs that you formed as a result of that can even be wow, do I really believe that? And then you look at your life. If you find yourself believing something that is really off the wall, look at your life and see what evidence supports it. What has been supporting that belief? And now that you know, you are now met with a choice. Do you move past the gap? Do you move over into consciousness and you make a conscious decision? Or do you go back? Do you go back? Once you see, you cannot unsee. And most of the time, I won't say most of the time, 100% of the time, what you see that you cannot unsee is literally yourself. It's just you. It's you. It's parts of you. And we're on, like, that's where the journey of reclamation comes in, where you reclaim your expression, where you reclaim your femininity, you reclaim your masculinity, because you're incorporating those parts back to yourself. You're integrating those parts back into yourself. Everyone's not going to agree with how you do it. Everyone's not going to agree with your truth. It's not for them to agree with. It's for you to acknowledge and validate